Welcome to Space and Rocket Center, the year of aviation. I'm a docent. That means I'm a volunteer tour guide here at the Space and Rocket Center, emphasizing airplanes. And today we're going to talk about my favorite airplane here at Space and Rocket Center, the A12. Who am I? I've been a docent for over 10 years. Before that, in 1966, I graduated from the Air Force Academy. I then got my master's in engineering from Purdue. Following year, I became a pilot for the Air Force, and the year after that, I was flying F-105 Thunder Chiefs in the Vietnam War. So I'm kind of an old guy, but I've got lots of experience. I came here after I retired from the Air Force and then retired from working for Raytheon, an engineering team here in Huntsville. But my favorite thing to do is to talk to people who come up to the Space and Rocket Center and want to talk about my airplane, the A12. In 1958, the United States had U-2 airplanes flying over Russia as spy airplanes. But the CIA in 1958 said the U-2 is vulnerable. One of these days, the Russians are going to shoot one down. So the CIA went to a man named Kelly Johnson, who was the director of Lockheed Skunk Works, and they went to Kelly and they said, we want a replacement for the U-2. The airplane has to go high, has to go fast, and has to be stealthy. And Kelly Johnson said, pick two. I can't give you all three. And they said, high and fast will work. So he went to work in 1959, and in 1962, the first A12 flew. It flew from an airfield called Groom Lake. You may know that as Area 51, where all the aliens are. But anyway, that's where this airplane was stationed, was Groom Lake. So in 1962, the first airplane flew. This airplane, which was number 7 of 12, this one first flew the following year in 1963. And if you're trying to look at a timeline, the first SR-71, which was flown by the Air Force, was flown in 1964. So 62, then 63, then 64. This airplane, it flies higher and faster than the SR-71, but it has no speed records, no altitude records, because it never existed. The CIA bought the airplane, the CIA flew the airplane, the CIA pilots flew the airplane, and they even took this particular airplane, number 7 of 12, and they took it over and it flew over North Vietnam, North Korea, and Cambodia in 1967 and 1968. So this airplane has flown over enemy territory. It has had SA-2 missiles shot against it, and none of those missiles ever hit the airplane. So because it was so high and so fast. So the airplane is built out of titanium. Why titanium? Because steel's too heavy and aluminum would melt. Because when this airplane is flying at its max speed, which is over Mach 3.2, which is over 2,000 miles an hour, when it's flying at those speeds, the skin of the airplane gets very hot. The front part of the airplane gets up as hot as 600 degrees. In the back, it gets up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So titanium is the only metal that can withstand this kind of temperature and pressure at those high altitudes. Kelly Johnson and his people made an airplane that doesn't fly at Mach 0.5 or Mach 1 or Mach 2. It's most efficient when it's flying Mach 3. So it gets up to Mach 3, and as it uses up its fuel, it slowly climbs up a little bit, but the point being that it's at that altitude. And today is a beautiful day here in Huntsville, Alabama, and the sky is clear. There are no clouds. If this airplane flew over us today with its camera, it would be able to see things that were 9 inches long. So in 1962 through 1968, we had cameras that could see on the ground things that were 9 inches. So what can we do today? I don't know, and if I knew, I'd have to kill you. But anyway, the point being, the satellites today are better than this airplane, but in 1960s, this airplane was fantastic. It had great capabilities. The airplane stopped flying in 1968. And as I said, there are 7 of the 12 remaining. We have one of them here in Huntsville. There are 2 others in the state of Alabama, and the other 4 are one's at CIA headquarters, one is in New York on the Intrepid Museum, and the other 2 are one's in Edwards Air Force Base, and at the moment I can't think of the last one. But the point being, these 7 airplanes are now at museums like this. This being the year of aircraft here at the Space and Rocket Center, we're really proud of our airplane. And I, as a docent, not only am I able to talk about this airplane, the A12, but here at Space Camp, we also have something called Aviation Challenge. And down at Aviation Challenge, we have another 12 airplanes that are just like this, that if you would like me to, I could take you on a tour down there. And again, it would only last about an hour, hour and a half, because as you can see, I don't like talking about airplanes.